I hope it's still alive, though.
Tonight, a terrifying scene in downtown Boston.
The truck is rolled over. There's a lot of people injured on the ground.
This box truck plowing into pedestrians just before 1 this afternoon in the Chinatown neighborhood, barreling through multiple power poles, crashing into a restaurant, landing on its side. The cab wrapped around the light pole, the restaurant's window shattered. Chris Sullivan was out getting lunch.
We thought, well, maybe a bike crossed in front of them or something. I don't know. It looks like we weren't really sure, but I just walked through there literally 10 seconds before it happened.
This surveillance video showing the Penske rental truck begin to veer onto the sidewalk.
This easily could have been a far worse circumstance given the time of day and how many people tend to be in this area at the time.
David, so far officials say they don't believe this was suspicious or intentional. They're investigating whether the driver may have had a medical emergency. David.
Trevor Old with us as well. Thank you, Trevor. We turn now to the U.S. economy tonight. President Trump set to escalate his trade war tomorrow, imposing massive new tariffs on America's trading partners around the world this week. Economists say this will likely hike prices right here in the U.S. We're also following tonight these massive new federal firings, this time federal workers at the FDA, the CDC, among other health agencies. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce.
Tonight, the nation and the world bracing for what President Trump calls Liberation Day. In less than 24 hours, the president set to reveal tariffs targeting America's trading partners, which could upend the global economy.
They're reciprocal, so whatever they charge us, we charge them.
The scale and targets of Trump's tariffs still unclear, but economists warn the cost to American consumers could be steep. Tariffs are taxes on imported products paid by American businesses, who then raise prices for consumers. The president says his goal is to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. Today, the White House telling Americans to trust him.
You should trust what this president did for you in his first term. He effectively utilized tariffs while driving down inflation.
The president acknowledges Americans could feel some short-term pain. The big question, how long will it last? Experts caution it will take years to shift manufacturing to the U.S. In the meantime, prices could skyrocket on everything from electronics and apparel to cars and groceries. In Evanston, Illinois, shoppers like Carla Hayden are worried.
Canned goods might go up because of the tin, all these prices, and they're just going to be rolled right into the consumer's pocketbook.
But others like Jim say the president's policies deserve a chance.
Is it going to work? I hope so. I'm willing to give him a chance.
It comes with another piece of Trump's government overhaul now underway. Outside government buildings today, long lines of health and human services workers waiting to learn if they've been fired. 10,000 layoffs beginning today. Many caught completely off guard, arriving to work only to find their badges cut off. Some top officials given just 24 hours to decide if they want to relocate to new jobs, thousands of miles away in Alaska. Among those fired, the FDA's top tobacco regulator, under whose leadership teenage tobacco use dropped to its lowest point in a decade. Also laid off researchers working on everything from drug use and mental health to reproduction and infertility, and most of the office that investigates workplace safety. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, a marathon protest of the president's policies. A new poll from the Associated Press shows 58% of Americans disapprove of his handling of the nation's economy, with 40% approving.
Senator from New Jersey.
Democratic Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey taking to the Senate floor for over 20 hours, speaking out against the Trump administration and what he calls a nation in crisis.
Are you better off than you were 72 days ago under this president's leadership on the verge of his so-called Liberation Day that's going to drive prices up even more?
So again, President Trump making his big tariff announcement here tomorrow at 4 p.m. after the markets close. And tonight, news on another front. The Washington Post reporting embattled National Security Advisor Mike Waltz conducted government business over his personal Gmail account. It comes after Waltz accidentally included a reporter in a group chat on the commercial app Signal where attack plans were shared. The White House tonight not denying the new report, but they say Waltz was forwarding emails sent to his personal Gmail to his official account, and they insist no classified material was sent. David.
Mary Bruce live at the White House again tonight for us. Mary, thank you. We're also watching high-stakes elections in 2 states tonight, including a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, the first major test for President Trump at the polls. And Elon Musk is spending millions of his own money on this Wisconsin race. And tonight here, you'll hear what voters have to say about that. Here's our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott from Madison.
Good morning, everyone.
Tonight, the first major test at the ballot box for President Trump and Elon Musk. The world's richest man pulling out all the stops, turning the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court judge into the most expensive judicial election in U.S. history.
What do you think of my hat?
Musk spending $20 million of his own money to help elect conservative judge Brad Schimmel.
I feel like this is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but I think it will.
Whoever wins will have the key swing vote on Wisconsin's high court, with a major say over which party controls key congressional seats here and how abortion policy is decided.
This race matters. It's important. We have to stop the politics on the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
The Liberal candidate Susan Crawford cast this race as a referendum on Trump.
This is about our Supreme Court. It is about our rights, and it's about our state. And we're not going to let Elon Musk take any of that away from us. So are you with me?
Let me first hand out two $1 million checks.
In the final days, Musk upping the ante, personally handing out two $1 million checks. But 6 says that could backfire.
I don't care. If I loved that judge, I would vote against him because I don't think a billionaire should be buying our judiciary.
Dwayne Holtz, who tells me he voted for Trump, says he's voting for the conservative in this race, but not because of Elon Musk.
I leaned towards Judge Schimmel. I'm just impressed with him, with his character and just the way he is as a man.
And David, voters also heading to the polls today in Florida, where there are two congressional special elections. One for former Congressman Matt Gaetz, who President Trump initially selected to serve as his attorney general. The other one for former Congressman Mike Waltz, who is currently serving as the president's national security advisor. Both these seats in traditionally Republican districts. And tonight, both Republicans able to hang on to those seats as Republicans hang on to their slim majority. David.
All eyes on Florida and on Wisconsin, where you are tonight, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Rachel. We also have new reporting tonight of the heartbreaking death of that Yankee star's 14-year-old son. Authorities in Costa Rica tonight say they have now discovered high levels of carbon monoxide near the family's hotel room. Here's Ariel Reshef.
Tonight, new details in the sudden death of baseball star Brett Gardner's 14-year-old son Miller while on a family vacation in Costa Rica. Investigators in a specialized unit saying there were high levels of carbon monoxide contamination near the hotel room where Miller was staying.
Pues se detectaron altas emanaciones de contaminación de lo que es monóxido de carbono.
Authorities noting a machine closet nearby, which could have emitted the deadly gas, potentially causing the incident. The night before Miller's death, nearly 2 weeks ago, the Arenas del Mar Resort saying it dispatched a medical team to tend to multiple Gardner family members after they fell ill, but Miller died in his sleep early the next morning. And tonight, the hotel saying it is cooperating with the investigation, acknowledging the elevated carbon monoxide levels in the machine room, which is not occupied by guests, but saying those levels were non-existent and non-lethal in Miller's room. Miller's family and the world of professional baseball.
Please join the Yankees in a moment of silence.
Grieving his tragic loss. David, there is still no official cause of death until the final toxicology report is released, and that could take a couple months. David?
Ariel Reshef reporting tonight. Ariel, thank you. Tonight, the Trump administration is now acknowledging they wrongly deported an immigrant to that notorious prison in El Salvador, calling it an administrative error. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, the Trump administration acknowledging this man was inadvertently sent to a notorious mega prison in El Salvador because of an administrative error. Lawyers for the Salvadorian man, Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, identified in these prison video screen grabs by his U.S. citizen wife, are petitioning for his immediate return. They say Abrego Garcia was removed against a 2019 judge's order, preventing him from being sent back to his home country. The White House, though, acknowledging the oversight, unapologetic.
It was an administrative error. The administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang.
Abrego Garcia's family says he's no gang member and have heard nothing about his condition for weeks, saying this has been, quote, a nightmare. On March 12th, Abrego Garcia was stopped by ICE officers in Maryland, where he lives with his wife, Jennifer, and 5-year-old son who has autism. He ended up on one of these 3 flights deporting alleged violent gang members to El Salvador on March 15th. David, the Justice Department argues there's little it can do to get this man back from El Salvador. A hearing on the case is set for Friday, David.
All right, Pierre Thomas live in Washington. Pierre, thank you. When we come back here tonight, a stunning rescue this evening, a 65-year-old woman trapped for 91 hours. Also, Bruce Springsteen's new and touching tribute tonight. Then watch this, the cruise ship rocked by 40-foot waves tonight, passengers thrown. Where this happened in a moment here.
How can we call more for you today?
Whatever's quick. Please, we got a date with the zoo.
No worries. You'll be in and out with a colorful, quick, quality oil change.
Well, car more. Now I get it.
Jiffoo!
Wait, if you were detained at any Maryland juvenile detention facility since the 1960s, this is the money glitch that's getting former detainees properly compensated. Maryland juvenile detention staff allegedly failed to properly protect youth from abuse, putting your safety at risk. And now a landmark lawsuit is forcing them to pay victims of sexual abuse and mistreatment. This isn't just talk. Under
Overseas tonight, the rescue 91 hours after that 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Southeast Asia. Firefighters in Myanmar rescuing a 65-year-old woman. She'd been buried for those 91 hours, nearly 4 days. She's okay. Separately, a young girl recording on her cell phone trapped with her sister and grandmother, all of them rescued as well. Tonight, a cruise ship rocked by waves up to 40 feet. Clark Expeditions Ocean Explorer sailing through Drake Passage between the tip of South America and Antarctica. Passengers were tossed around, many struggling just to stay on their feet there. When we come back tonight, the former Full House star and what he's revealed about his personal battle, and Bruce Springsteen's powerful new tribute tonight. You'll remember the line in that song. To the index tonight, former Full House star Dave Coulier now says he's cancer-free. The actor and comedian diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma last year. Tonight, he's thanking family and friends, fans for their support. Of course, we're glad he's okay. Tonight, the cast of 4 biopics for the Beatles, 1 movie for each member. Oscar-winning director Sam Mendes calling it a quadrilogy from their early days in Liverpool to their breakup in 1970. Gladiator 2 star Paul Mescal will portray Sir Paul McCartney. Barry Keoghan will play Ringo Starr. Stranger Things actor Joseph Quinn with the role of George Harrison. And Harris Dickinson will play John Lennon. All 4 movies set for release in April of 2028. When we come back here tonight, Bruce Springsteen and his hit song Glory Days. And there was one line in that song and why it's in the news tonight. Finally tonight here, Bruce Springsteen and his moving tribute to his friend from back home. The Springsteen song. When we come back here tonight, Bruce Springsteen and his hit
Born
song,
in the
Glory Days. And there was
USA.
one line in that song and why it's in the news tonight.
Yes, 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 yes. We back in the building with another podcast, and this is RDP Vlog, and I'm your host, Ham 5000. And in my famous words, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's happening, man? Good God Almighty, boy. What's happening, y'all? Hey, listen, man, I'm waiting for my chair broke, so I'm waiting for my other chair back. So I'm back on the cool chair. I moved this up some because it's gotta look at the real subscribers. It's tapped there. Yeah. Show I'm back. Show up. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. What's up, y'all? What's happening? Hey, listen, drop that low where you at. Wherever you at in here, drop that low, man. Hey, if you feeling froggy this morning, donate to the channel. If not, I don't. I appreciate you, but I truly don't give if you don't, because most people don't. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. But it's easy this morning because you know it's my work day. So I'm gonna be shooting out here to get to Pennsylvania soon. But man, the young scooter definitely on the chopping block this morning. The boy KANYE, you know, KANYE on the chopping blocks this morning. That's the guy. President Trump, man, is third term. He's talking, but it's too early to talk that. A bunch going on, man. I don't know, man. Please hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. But the president, a lot of these dudes lost his mind. Him and the boy Elon. Elon was my man at one time, bro. He really ain't my man no more like that. Elon be doing too much. You know what I mean? Hey, if you healthy, man. You put that big bottle of water in you. It's almost 7 o'clock in the morning. I hope nobody didn't get up without putting a big cup of room temperature water or some ice cold water. Ice cold water, when you put it in your morning, anything you ate last night coming about you. That's just the natural way I'm saying it. But before I get into the phone call, please hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Please. So, young Scooter, a phone, the police recording was out there, and the 911 call. So allegedly this was a fake 911 call. This was a fake 911 call that, led the Scooter, running out the house and doing this. But here it is. I'm getting ready to play the 911 call. And listen, everybody want to say this, and this is a deep thing, right? Oh, let me pause this. Let me say this. Women, because of women, a nation is created through their womb. That's in all of humanity or species or whatever. The female, whatever, creates the foundation. That's a fact. But in the same token, women are God's gift to the earth, God's gift to man and children. Women are great nurturers. Women are great. You know what I'm saying? The world wouldn't go around. But then you got what you call bitches, gold diggers, hoes, fucked up individuals. You got girls that play with the police department and get people in a bunch of shit. And that's what happened to young Scooter. Allegedly, one of his homeboys was dealing with the chick or whatever. She don't like what she going on. School to them, they getting money. She makes a call that y'all about to hear and said all this shit was going on that wasn't going on. And the police, rushed the house, led to Scooter running out the door. Something might not have been right in the house. I don't know. Scooter runs out the door, breaks his leg, dies from injury. This is all because a female decided that she was going to call the police on her boyfriend. She said her boyfriend is beating on her and all this old stuff. And this is no shade, and this is no shot to no beautiful black women, Hispanic women, Caucasian women, Asian women, whatever. I love all y'all. You get what I'm saying? We around here, we respect women. We don't respect them hoes and them bitches yet. For real. And what you did, what that girl did, a lot of women do that. A lot of women in the world do stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up and it caused a dude to die. No, she didn't kill him. I don't think she should be charged with murder in school to death because she didn't kill him. But I forgot what you call it's called when you do something that causes somebody death. Her ass will be charged with that. And if she in Atlanta, they gonna crucify her because you made a prank call or you made a call because your boyfriend wasn't doing whatever you was doing, and then you got a bunch of people in trouble that don't have nothing to do with your love affair. So I'm gonna let y'all be the judge of that, and y'all let's go to tape.
Atlanta 911 operator 8715. What is the location of your emergency?
The location is the transfer. 1 second, ma'am, for 273 William Nye Drive, Southeast.
273 William Nye.
Yeah.
No, it's 27. It's 273 William. Oh, you said Nye, NYE, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you to Kat. Hello, caller.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Do you need police, fire, EMS?
Actually, both. If you could say both. There was literally a shooting. The house, literally the neighbors next door, the house of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. There's like 7 guys that live in this house.
What's your name?
I'm sorry. What is my name?
Okay. Okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch, and basically like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They holding guns in the air, and then I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's like the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl.
Listen to
He
this,
literally
y'all.
fought the girl.
This
I'm
is
not
a
sure what they
lie.
were fighting over. If they were fighting over drugs, that's what it sounded like.
Oh
It
my God.
sounded like they were fighting over drugs.
It sounded like they was.
And
How
then
would
they
you know
started
all
shooting.
this?
She had someone come over there and they started shooting. But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area. I would say 3. It was 3 shots.
When did it happen?
It's happening now.
Okay.
So I believe the girl is hurt.
And they're coming from 273 William Nye Drive.
That's not, yes. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
Sure. Do you hear this lie?
Do you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, she's trying to get away and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like she's trying to, they brought her, the guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. She's trying to get out. He's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house.
Damn. Rest in peace, the streets.
Okay. Give me one moment.
I gotta pause this. Hold on. Listen, Show, you gotta think. Scota minding his business, right? He in there, he mobbing, whatever he got going on. Your man got a rubble double with a chick, right? He got a rubble double with a chick. His crazy broad is calling the police, lying and putting the police on the house. How many of us that grew up in the urban community, bro, in the streets, in the traps, that a woman called the police and just put them on the house? She wasn't even in the county. She wasn't nowhere around and she put the police on this dude. I'm not saying the dude was putting his hands on her, or I'm not saying that he was or he wasn't. But what I am saying, literally, I'm saying this literally. She is the reason this man broke his leg and ran out the house. She said they selling drugs. She said everything to get back at her boyfriend, not having no regards for the other men. It sounds like these dudes had a nice little spot, a couple dudes, getting together, paying rent, school to hang out. However the house was, she must have been in there. Ain't like what was going on. Dude wasn't messing with it because you could predict this stuff if you from the ghetto. If you're from where I'm from, you could predict this stuff because you see this happen all the time. But this situation happened in Georgia and it led to death. The whole thing is crazy. It's bananas, and that should be a law put against women who make false allegation against men, bro. It's a lot of women do that. Women are more, like I said, women are. I have a mother. Rest in peace to my grandmother, my sisters. I have a lady, I have a daughter. All that is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But the same way you have beautiful, respectful, loving, caring women, you got fucked up, greedy, conniving, snakish, women out here. It's if you got the good ones, you got the bad ones. This was a bad one. And I'm not saying nothing, never happened with her and her boyfriend, but their relationship problems or their midnight, whatever they had going on, she put other men in that they don't have nothing to do with that and was telling lies. Like, yo, the wrong police department would have brought the SWAT out there. You saying this woman getting beat up. That's the worst thing you could ever do. Beat a woman up and saying she be butt naked, saying she being dragged in the house. Bro, that's a crime against humanity, bro. They coming for that. Now they come banging on the door. Dudes in there playing the game. What the fuck? They banging on the door. Dudes get out of there. Yo, jump a fence, break his leg. He gone because of a prank call. That's what I want to call it, a prank call. It was a prank call that got this man 6 feet deep with 5 children out here. Come on, man. Let y'all finish listening.
There's also a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
Okay, you said the female is naked?
Yeah, she's naked and she's bleeding profusely from
Profusely.
her, like from her head.
Dang.
Okay. Can you give me a description of the male?
The male is like has like a caramel complexion, low haircut.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black and he drives. I believe.
What color shirt and pants do he have on?
Blue, regular blue jeans and like a regular like t-shirt. I'm not sure. I didn't really get the. Okay, I'm not sure if it was blue or black.
Okay, dark t-shirt. And what about the female?
Wow.
She's light skinned and she has black hair. She's probably about 5'3", 130 pounds.
Dang. How you know somebody 5'3", 100? 5'3" cool, but 130 pounds? How the fuck you predict somebody with?
And you said she's naked. Okay, give me one moment. Let me get EMS on the line.
Okay.
It's serious, y'all. Wow, yeah. Yeah, wow. Y'all, this is the full 911 card that was made, and the reason why Scooter passed away.
You have reached Grady EMS. Do not hang up. Your call will be answered in the order received. You have reached Grady EMS. Do not hang
Hello,
up.
ma'am. Can you tell me what they're doing right now?
Right now they're still battling. She's trying to get out, and the person is refusing to let her get out.
You have reached Grady EMS. Do not hang up. Your call will be answered in the order received.
The EMS people not answering the phone. I never seen this before. Y'all did? EMS not answering the phone.
EMS, what's the address of the emergency? Hey, Grady, it's Atlanta with a transfer to caller is advising 273 William Nye Drive, Southeast. Let me give you a little bit about what's going on at this location. There's a male at the location that's fighting a female. She is naked. A shooting. Shots were fired. About 3 shots were fired.
Pause. Yo, how serious does that sound? If you just say you're a police officer and you get a call, a female is naked, bleeding very bad, and the man is beating her up, and they got guns and stuff in the house, and they just dragged her in the house. Imagine how the police coming for that, bro. Imagine how the police coming. Listen, so y'all know how these rats, you know what I'm saying, and these women get down on the phone when they making false allegations. Hey, listen, bro, this is fucked up.
73 William Nye.
She's lying. This is a lie with a straight face. Bananas.
Oh, okay. Tell me exactly what happened. I had to call her and let her know what happened.
Hello.
Well, before I get into that, is this a business house or an apartment?
This is a house, and I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her, and it's a town hall. There is like 7 guys in the house, and they all have guns. You guys need to hurry again before she doesn't make it.
Ma'am, we already have help organized for her. What's the phone number you're calling from? Exactly what happened?
There's a situation going on in this house. There's 7 guys that live here, and they're basically, I'm not sure if they're running some type of sex traffic. This individual, she's a 5'2", light-skinned female, black hair. She ran outside naked, bleeding from her face. She tried to get away. She was dragged back into the house, and they're holding her hostage. And then there was a baby involved. So this situation is really serious, and he's punching her. If you guys don't get her, she's going to be really hurt.
Atlanta, what's your operator number?
8715.
And you already have PD en route?
PD has been notified and it's being started.
Okay, stand by for
What's your
fire.
operator?
I'm
You on fire?
Stand by. I'm not sure what the hospital requested.
Okay.
Are you, ma'am, are you with the patient now?
No, I'm a neighborhood watch. I'm just literally a neighborhood watch. I'm not in the house.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, no problem. About how old do you think she is?
She has to be about maybe. She looks a little underage, but I don't want to say that. You know, looks can be deceivers. So she's roughly, I'll say between, let's just say between 18 and 21. Somewhere between those. That.
Is she awake?
What do you mean? Is she awake? He's beating her
Is she
bloody.
conscious?
He's beating her bloody. I'm not. He's dragged her back in the house.
Is she breathing?
Ma'am, he dragged her back in the house.
Okay, I understand, ma'am. I'm gonna ask you some more questions. I understand you're not able to see what exactly is going on now. Just answer the questions to the best of your ability.
Okay.
Were any weapons involved?
Everyone in the house has weapons.
Damn.
The 7 guys that live there, they're roommates or something like that. I don't know if all 7 live there, but it's typically about the same amount that's there every day.
Okay. Is there any serious bleeding?
She's bleeding from her face, like the whole front of her face. She's bleeding profusely, and then there's a child involved.
Okay, is she responding normally?
How do you know all this?
Are you serious, ma'am?
Yes, I'm serious. I need to know for the paramedics if she's completely alert.
How can I assess if she is alert if I just told her they dragged her back in the house?
So like I advised earlier, just answer to the best of your ability.
She was breathing when she was outside trying to get away.
Hello, caller. If you don't know, you can just say unknown. That's
Okay.
suffice. Okay.
Okay.
Is she having any difficulty breathing?
I don't know.
Thank you for that. Atlanta's not requesting for fire to go out there.
Okay, we do have PD started to this location. 2 officers are en route.
I'm clear on 2 officers en route. Thank you.
All right, Atlanta is disconnecting. All right, thank you, caller.
Okay, ma'am, I'm sending the paramedics to help.
Yo. Can y'all believe this, bro? Can y'all believe this? Can y'all really believe this, bro? Can y'all believe that a woman really did? This is all black people involved. A sister really went out her way to have the police go up in their house, man, and whatever them boys had going on or whatever they didn't have going on, cause a good man to just, break his leg. And we can't second guess a law. You know what I'm saying? It's your day. But damn, bro. Off a phone call? Like, bro, rest in peace to my brother PT. But he said one thing, bro. I ain't gonna repeat what he said, bro. It's just so terrible, bro. It's horrible that a sister would do that to a brother. I'm not even joking, bro. Like, damn, shorty, you was that mad at that man that you really put the police on everybody. And he didn't get arrested. Nothing ever happened. He just lost his man, bro. They know everything you got. Come on, shorty. Why? Why did you have to do that? Why? I don't understand. I don't understand at all, bro. I don't understand at all, bro. I'm just keeping it real with you. You know what I mean? And this is it. She going to prison. Yeah, she gotta be. You know what I mean? She gotta be.
Thinking about
She gotta be. You can't put no but that's a false call. You know what I mean? I forgot what they call. It's gonna something happen to her. You know what I mean? I just want to get to this part where she telling her side of the story. Poetic played it is.
What I'm saying is, what made you think that it was okay to call the police and lie about somebody actively being physically beaten, gunshots going off, drugs going on, trafficking going on, hostage situation, kidnapping? What made you think it was okay to call the police and lie about that going on actively? Because when you made the call, you wasn't in the jurisdiction. You had to get transferred. You had to get transferred. So if you had to get transferred and you weren't in the jurisdiction, then what made you make the call? Because you weren't being actively beaten at the time.
Yeah.
So why lie? Instead of her taking accountability for lying, she's now trying to go with the pity story.
Yeah.
As if people right now is going to feel sorry for her pity story when faced with the reality that, like a rapper, an artist, a man, a father, a son, a brother, who a lot of people love is now dead due to your actions and your fake story.
So I did what I thought was the best thing to do. I had no intentions that man was there. I never set anybody up. I never had any intentions that man was there. I never knew that man was there. I had no idea of that man's whereabouts. I'm speaking today.
This is her. This is her.
And I had no intentions to set anybody up. I never set anybody up. I was threatened by individual. There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only have part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue.
She's literally still lying. Like, she's lying. That's not what led up to the call because you weren't there. Yo, do she forget what she said in the call? You said somebody was actively in the moment being whooped on, bleeding profusely, shots going off, actively in the moment right now. You weren't there. You made the call from out of jurisdiction. They had to transfer you. So who was getting... You don't say, yo, I made the call because I was being beaten, when you made the call about somebody else being beaten. Yo, whatever comes her way, she deserves it.
Yeah.
Now, from my perspective, from what I think she deserves, I think she deserves, bro, at this point with no accountability, bro, I was ready to say, listen, bro, you can't charge her with murder. That's a little harsh. At this point, bro, whatever they throw at her, she deserves it.
Yeah.
I don't care no more.
Yeah,
5 years, hey,
I got my
to me, that's life. A man lost his life, homie. Whatever they throw at her, bro. You know, I forgot my guy's name, but he commented last year. He said, Flacco, man, you asking her to get charged with murder is a little harsh, bro. She called, but he ran. But now, bro, she don't feel bad at all. At all. She still thinks that she's the victim and that she's right. Somebody with that mindset and that mentality, while facing the reality of a father lost his life, a brother lost his life, an uncle. Bro, that man, kids is all across his profile, bro.
Yeah, bro. Now y'all see what happened. Y'all see what happened, bro. Y'all see with your own 2 eyes that school is dead for no reason, bro. All because a girl was having a domestic dispute with her boyfriend, bro. And she decided to put that shit on streets, bro. She decided to bring whatever streets and numbers at, whether it's crib or not, you decided to bring that to him. And now, man, gone, bro. I mean, I hope she get a year, 2 years in prison for that shit, bro. That's fucked up. For playing with the police department. Ain't nobody feeling that. You know what I mean? Now, my man Kanye West. Kanye West said that he wish he ain't had babies by Kim Kardashian. Don't nobody want that and that, yo. Kanye just...
Morgan Wallen really knows how to steal the show. Did SNL and
Kanye West, man, boy, said something he had babies by Kim.
Say and be like, you had a great day.
I'm now at 3:30 on the dot. Yeah, we know. Kanye West showed up for a podcast interview wearing Ku Klux Klan garb, all black. At one point, academics points out that Kanye is having a difficult relationship with Kim Kardashian. Obviously, they have 4 children together.
I didn't want to have children with this person after the first 2 months of being with her. But that wasn't God's plan.
It's such a mean, awful thing to say. The worst thing you can say about your children is that I never wanted to have you.
Blake Lively popped up at a donut.
It's your boy Ye told him, I never want that. But that boy Ye, man. What y'all say? Kanye not crazy. See, I ain't a bully. I can't play that. I can't do that, y'all. I can't do that.
So Viola Davis. Okay, so at
Fucked up, bro. Kanye did go crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kanye did in fact go crazy.
Okay, so at this point, somebody needs to step in and put Kanye West in his place because he is going too far and causing so much damage from the things he's been saying online. He has been going on these weird rants on Twitter for about 2 months now. It just keeps getting worse and worse with every tweet, and his latest antics might have just landed him in serious trouble with Beyonce. A couple of days ago, Kanye went off on Beyonce and Jay-Z, and no, it wasn't his typical rant about how they think they're better than anyone. No, for some reason, he went after their children, especially their twins, and said some seriously horrible things about them that no parent should ever have to hear from someone they were once friends with. Now, everyone knows that Beyonce is quite chill and doesn't really do the social media dramatics, but it looks like this is the last straw for her because word on the streets is that she is not about to let this slide, and she's determined to finally put Kanye in his place by teaching him a hard lesson. It looks like Kanye just might have bitten off more than he can chew, so let's break down Beyonce's revenge plan. It's still kind of wild how things turned out like this between Kanye, Beyonce, and Jay-Z because they used to have one of the strongest friendships in history, and everyone could see they genuinely cared about each other. For a while, it seemed like nothing could break their bond, but things started unraveling about 10 years ago. A lot of people assume their fallout was because of Kanye's relationship with Kim Kardashian, but the real issue was Kanye himself and his shenanigans. Honestly, it's not hard to see why Beyonce and Jay-Z would distance themselves from him because Kanye keeps putting their business out there and calling them out publicly for not being the kind of friends he wanted them to be. For instance, during one of his concerts in 2016, Kanye put Beyonce on blast, accusing her of basically buying a war. He claimed that she strong-armed the organizers into giving her the win over him, and even went as far as saying she refused to perform unless she got the award. As time went on, Kanye's rants about them just kept escalating. By 2016, it was pretty clear his friendship with Jay-Z was done, for when he publicly called Jay-Z out for not reaching out to him and Kim after her Paris robbery. Oh, and I know y'all remember what Kanye West said about Jay-Z in 2022 when he claimed that Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly took people out and that they were being controlled.
They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize it.
They can't control. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James.
It ain't crazy at all.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
No,
see,
you.
it ain't no name. My mama ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah. I'm Christian.
Michael Jordan. What about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. Truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all meat meals, y'all puppies, y'all little boozy, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they're dealing with, they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Kanye has been wilding for a long time, and honestly, it's something of a miracle that Beyonce has mostly ignored him until now. If you're wondering why they're suddenly sitting up and taking action, it's because he came for their children unprovoked, claiming that there's something wrong with her twins. He tweeted, "Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? There were no, like literally, and this is why artificial insemination is a blessing. Having children is a choice." He ended up deleting the tweets after a while, but he then made it clear that the only reason he deleted them was that he didn't want his Twitter account flagged for violating the policies and that he wasn't sorry or remorseful for what he said. He tweeted, "I need everyone to know that I took the post about Jay-Z and Beyonce's family down and Jerry Lorenzo's family down because there was a possibility of my Twitter being canceled, not because I'm a good person. Now Jay-Z and Beyonce on the other end, F them and their entire family." That was just so unnecessarily cruel, especially to innocent children who have done nothing to him. What makes this even worse is that that he knows that there have been a lot of hateful comments directed towards Beyonce's kid, especially Sir, because she prefers to keep him out of the public eye. In an interview with Vogue, Beyonce opened up about her difficult pregnancy with the twins, saying, "I was 218 pounds the day I gave birth to Rumi and Sir. I was swollen from toxemia and have been on bed rest for over a month. My health and my baby's health were in danger, so I had an emergency C-section. We spent many weeks in the NICU. I was in survival mode and did not grasp it all until months later. After the C-section, my core felt different. It had been major surgery. Some of your organs are shifted temporarily and in rare cases removed temporarily during delivery. I am not sure everyone understands that. I needed time to heal, to recover. Plus, I know y'all remember how hard some grown adults bullied Blue when she was just a baby, calling her hair nappy, saying she was ugly and all that. Child, she's 13 and the mean comments still haven't stopped. So it shouldn't be surprising that Beyonce wants to protect the twins from all that negativity. A couple of months ago, people started talking about how she seems even more protective of Sir. He wasn't at Beyonce's halftime performance or her Good Morning America interview for the Lion King movie. Blue Ivy and Rumi were at the interview, but not him. Proud of her. Somebody wants to join. He also didn't attend the Super Bowl with Blue and Rumi, and all sorts of conspiracies were flying around, from talks about how he supposedly has autism or how Beyonce is ashamed of him because he supposedly has some sort of disability. It has been a lot. Beyonce and Jay-Z have kept their lips sealed and never even mentioned him, which only made people more curious. Fans couldn't help but wonder why we barely see him at all. While Blue Ivy has been front and center at award shows and even performed on stage, and Rumi has made a few appearances here and there, Sir remains a mystery. Some think Beyonce and Jay-Z are just being extra protective of him, while others speculate that there's more to the story than we know. But Beyonce's mom, Miss Tina Knowles, wasn't going to sit back and let folks run with their own narratives, and she's been trying to set the record straight, insisting that people have it all wrong when it comes to Sir. According to her, there's no mystery, no drama. He's just a private child who isn't interested in fame or the spotlight. Tina, who has always been very close with her grandkids, decided to open up a little about Sir's personality, giving fans a rare glimpse into what he's actually like. In an interview she shared, Sir is a very, very smart child. He likes numbers and he's very low key. She made it clear that unlike his sisters who seem to enjoy a bit more of attention, Sir prefers to stay in his own world, focus on things that truly interest him. What does that mean to you? Tell us a little bit about Rumi and how excited
Well, Rumi is amazing. She's an amazing artist, like painter and creator. And so, I mean, how could they be anything else growing up in that environment? That's all we talk about is creativity and fashion and the whole thing.
What is Sir interested in?
Sir is very quiet and is very, very smart and does all of the number stuff. So he's not into the fashion stuff as much.
So from the sounds of it, Beyonce and Jay-Z are just respecting their child's wishes, which is something that every good parent should do. Plus, it's kind of hypocritical.
I could believe that because Jay-Z real standoffish. If you know Jay-Z and a fan of Jay, he's real standoffish. If his kid got autism or not, it's believable that his kid don't want to be around all like cameras and stuff. Jay-Z a laid back dude. I could see that. But yeah, off the hook for just even mentioning the man kids and their shenanigans. That's one thing I don't agree with Kanye West with. I don't agree with him with that. And everybody know I'm a huge Kanye fan. The man posters all around here. But I don't agree with that, bro. Like you shouldn't put children in there, man. You know what I mean? The kids don't got nothing to do with that, bro. And Jay-Z might slap the shit out Kanye West when he see him. Now I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like I fucks with Kanye. I'm a fan, but Jay-Z might slap the shit out of him when he see him, bro. The one that's homeboys, bro. Like, that ain't riding, bro. Like, yo, you putting the kids, corner man, kids, slow and all that, bro. Who does that, bro? What grown man, what human being does that? What human being decide that he gonna call a kid, bro? A kid, bro. Them kids don't got nothing to do with it. Your kids don't have nothing to do with the situation, Jay. And Jay-Z kids don't. All the stuff that y'all be tripping off of him in the beef with Jay-Z. But I also know one thing in my mind and my heart that Jay-Z is a businessman. Jay-Z's a businessman, bro. And Jay-Z don't got time for the kids, man. 50-some years old, bro. He don't got time for the child's play. You get him say, don't got time for the child's play. And I'm a fan of both of these guys, huge fans. But Ye lose a point because he was out of order. All the madness you got going against Jay, you should never put his kids out there. And it's a smart thing to me, though, as a celeb, that you don't put your kids in the media thing. The social media thing got, you know what I mean? I don't know if he lied or not because I never saw the man, son in public. But I don't think they will hide that. April is National Autism Month. Like I don't think Beyonce and Miss Knowles and them, will be doing that, bro. Like what she said, he likes numbers and he's more private. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that, bro. It's nothing wrong with that. You know, I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I know Jay-Z ain't been fucking with Kanye for a long time, Jack. Yeah. So he ain't in the inner circle to really know their personal business or what's going on with them. They need to chill out. You know what I mean? With as far as that with the kids, I'm just saying he should not put the man kids in it, whether it's true or false. He shouldn't put it in it. And Jay-Z never really be responding to Kanye. Kanye just, you know, it's a real bad intention thing. You know what I mean? It's bad for my man, yo. You know, I don't know. I know bro not crazy, but bro go off the meat racket. Bro go left. He does. Sometimes the boy go left. They say Jay respond. Hold up. Hold on. Yo, did y'all see Will Smith busting down that music? Yay, Willie. Will Smith kind of was all right. You know what I mean? He's nicer than you, Kenny. You can't do nothing with Will Smith on the rap tip, Kenny. I'll crush him. I'm saying you might have a problem. You might really have a problem, bro. Like if you ever thought you could deal with a rapper with that hip hop tip, you might really have a problem, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. You might have a problem with Will Smith, old man Will. Y'all probably be a tie. I would hurt him. You feel me? Saying I would hurt him. You know what I mean? On the mic, I'll let him know, Will. You know, you had summertime. You know what I mean? Parents just don't understand. You know what I mean? But you can't do nothing with me. So Trump is talking about running for a third term. All this so the president is getting busy like the Bucky dance. You feel me? Like your boy is getting busy. Elon and them, man, them boys. Elon and President Trump, bro, is like I'm gonna start calling them what was my favorite crew? They was Hawk and Animal. If you used to watch wrestling, I gotta get a poster of that. Hawk and Animal. The Road Warriors. Was that what they was called? The Road Warriors? Hawk and Animal. That's Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Hawk and Animal. The Road Warriors. Because I mean, the boy just do President-elect Trump just does the most, bro. I don't know what it's coming to, bro, but I'm saying, yo, hey, man, get yourself a box, man. Get yourself a nice little spot in the ground. Put something away, man. And, you know, I don't think he's gonna run for a third term. You know, the 22nd Amendment doesn't allow that, and he's taking it too far. I don't know, man. Donald Trump's been in office for 2 months, and we got like 3 more years to deal with this shit, bro. Like 2028. Bro, that's a long way from today. This man doing all this shit, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. I just think, you know, some of the things that Trump be doing, I agree with it. You know what I mean? I agree with like 65%, but then it's like the 35% you be like, President Trump, yeah, you got to chill. You know what I mean? You need to hire that, man. You got to chill with Trump. You're doing too much, bro. You're hurting people. You're taking people jobs. You're messing up Christmas for 2025. Chill out, man. You gotta relax. You Elon gotta relax. You know, you guys need to go to space. President Trump and Elon, boy, y'all need to go up in space for about 10 months like the astronauts. Like, come on, man. Come on. You know what I mean? And a lot of the Republicans are not really, and then Saudi got out of it. You know what I mean? They say somebody bashing them.
Cuts and making the program less accessible, I urge you to continue to fight for us. Pennington, New Jersey. My sister and I are older Americans who are each disabled, one from a severe accident because of a drunk driver and the other from a life-changing illness. We are alone and take care of each other. For me, SSDI is my one and only income. I have a few years before I am at full retirement age. Even with my check, I'm splitting rent. Even with my check and splitting rent costs between us, it is taking right under 50% of my monthly check for rent alone. 50%. This does not leave much to cover even the bare necessities of health, vehicle insurance, utilities, foods, medicine, even a tight budget, especially with costs on everything continuing to rise. Senator, as seniors, we are petrified about what's happening to SSA. I must ask you, Senator, what do we do if our monthly SSA benefits are interrupted? How do we keep a roof over our heads as disabled seniors? With very limited savings, it would only take a few months before the roof over our heads would be in jeopardy. We just spent a small fortune for us to move into a smaller, lower cost apartment because we could not afford significant ongoing rent increases. I realize we are far from alone in our fears, but that is of very little comfort as we spend our nights unable to sleep, fearful we do not.
Yeah, see, Trump. So, I like Trump, 65% Trump. But I agree. Like Trump started, as he became president, he started bothering shit that shouldn't need to be bothered, and that's a big issue that I have. You do have American people that work their ass off, and they need their Social Security and their retirement. They need certain things, and Trump going in there playing these games that he's playing, bro, is tough. And to see him like the mayor of Baltimore. I'm gonna use this example. The mayor of Baltimore feels like, he said give him time and he'll decrease the crime, he'll decrease the murder. And over time, the murder rate has decreased. Things still happen out here, but it's not as bad as it was early on, a few years back. So I'm like, all right, fuck. Gotta get a man time to see if these terrorists and everything that he's doing makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to the American people, bro, one thing I know about white people, you know what I'm saying? They switch up on anybody, even their own. So if that boy ain't doing the right thing, Trump will get vetoed out of office. I tell people, pump your brakes. It ain't but so much that the president can do. All this shit that he doing, people are already behind the scenes are discussing him. He's creating problems with people overseas where he won't be secure when he go in here. You get what I'm saying? Snipers work every day, and the best of snipers are here. I think he's kind of like the American way. Always been kind of like the bullying way, but it was. I will say this in the most humblest way. I think it was done in the most respectfulest way. What they call it. We use because the word in the jail. A soft lane. America was known for the soft lane. Hey, y'all do this, or we gonna do this, or we ain't having this. You get what I'm saying? That's what they was known for. The traditional soft lane. And with that being understood, so you gotta, dudes that's doing a soft lane. And when you do this soft lane and this soft lane comes into fruition, everything gets handled because a person don't feel like they getting linked on a soft lane. Presidents before Trump were famous for that. You get what I'm saying? The soft lane, look, we going and good negotiation. A soft lane, good negotiation. Everybody ends up happy. People leaving the Oval Office pissed. These, international people are having meetings behind the United States back when the United States was number one at the seat because of President Trump. You get what I'm saying? I was all for a lot of shit that Trump was saying, but when he get in there, it's looking wicked. But things look bad before they look worse. So does he know what he's doing? Hey, shit, he got 4 years to prove it. But it's only 60 days in, and he just like Kanye West and Trump kind of like alike. You know what I'm saying? They just keep the people going. You get what I'm saying? I mean, a rich man like Trump, why would he want to be the president? The president, being the president of the United States is work, but you're rich as fuck, bro. Been convicted. I don't want to hear that shit. You've been convicted of a felony no more because the president has been. The boy a Billy Badass in the Oval Office, man. Billy Badass in the Oval Office, and wherever his hidden agenda, I think Donald Trump is in the Oval Office making these moves for the foundation of the Trump enterprise and for the Trump family, for his little boy by Melania. You know what I'm saying? He's planning something because he's an older guy. And he ain't gonna have much to say so in the years to come when he's in his mid-70s. You know what I mean? Trump pushing 80 in a few years. By the time he got out of office, you know what I mean? He be damn near 80. Let me see how old he is, because I have no clue. I know he's like 70 something. How old is President Trump? Yeah, look, boy's 78. So he's 78 years old. He'd be 82, 81 when his term over with. Like, we're not saying that you don't want granddaddy. Everybody want their grandfather and their grandmother, the old earths of the family. But, I'm tired of old ass presidents. I'm just being honest with you. Old presidents going by, that she's 78 years old. So, he's had a 2025, seat, but, his mentality is still in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s and shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we need a president that's around 50 years old, 47, 48 years old. Somebody just understand certain shit. And the things that Trump is fighting for, I get it. But some shit just out of order, like fucking with Social Security and messing with certain stuff, bro. Like, what, you don't got nothing else to do, bro? It's so much going on in America that we need done. You worrying about people that work their ass off getting their Social Security, or people that was born with disabilities, or people that got hurt and then became disabled in the years to come. I don't think you should mess with that. Now, I understand, you feel like, oh, it's just a bunch of government jobs that don't need to be. Oh, I get that. You do a cut thing, make people buy out. Hey, it is what it is. But I'm saying, like, all the jobs, like, you doing stuff, you worrying about the wrong thing as a president. That's my biggest thing with Trump. I'm saying that he's worried about some of the wrong things. Like, some things shouldn't be bothered. And I can admit that as a partial supporter, I can admit that some of the shit you doing, bro, you don't got to do. You doing too much, man. God damn, man, get to the bacon and cheese. Shit, shit. I ain't gapping about that, man. I just, I just wipe my balls off, man. No, don't delete them, please. Don't delete them. I got time today. Don't delete them, y'all. What I got going on today is, but matter of fact, you know what? You stopped me from going there, but I gotta go in on the trolls, y'all. So the Mod Squad, man, I got let me torture them and then we clip them. You know what I'm saying? Let me torture them. You know what I mean? But listen, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Bro, I was up, I was early, I wasn't late this morning, and you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get back in the algorithm. So please like this video. If you like what you're hearing and saying, please donate to the channel. As you see, I need a new gamer chair. But psych, my gamer chair is coming. Man, suck my dick. How about that? You know what I mean? How about that? How about that? How about that, bro? How about that? Hey, can I get that bitch out my get that coon out of here? You know what I mean? How about that? That's what I said. I said that. You know what I'm saying? If you looking for me, I'm in Baltimore City. I said what I said. You out of order, man. Trolls. Yeah, you probably like, yo, the type of troll you is, Cortland, whatever your name is, Gentry. The type of troll you is like you probably couch hitting.
Your family today.
You probably couch hitting.
Liberation Day. It's the latest escalation in America's.
You know what I mean? You probably like my 600-pound life type dude. What's happening? I'm far from a couch over, but you like a 600-pound dude, my life dude. Like, boy, you miserable, boy. Thank you. Beat it. Thank you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta send a woman to do a man's job. And in my situation, my girl hit harder than some of you niggas. What is he talking about? That's like one of them people with my 600-pound life. You get what I'm saying? Like, see, trolls is even like a 600-pound life, or dude that got big ass black eye because he get chipped and can't go outside. Like that type of dude. Let's get back. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, donate to the channel.
Good morning, Sierra and Keenan. We've been
Just a news flash.
20 minutes, and we've seen a bunch of trucks coming across the border from Canada into the U.S. here. Now, with these tariffs, we don't know what goods or what trading partners will be targeted, but much of the traders and economists both tell me Liberation Day has them bracing because they feel the regular person is going to be bearing the burden of these tariffs.
To be honest, it's concerning to me just because of the price of things already.
Maya Callaway Richardson, like many across the country, are looking to what President Donald Trump is calling Liberation Day with bated breath. He's expected to roll out another round of tariffs on imports.
I mean, it did change some things for us. We were not necessarily thinking about buying another car. That's been escalated. We were thinking about doing some renovations and putting them off until next year. We went ahead and got started with them this year because we don't know how the cost will be impacted by this.
I'm honestly not too optimistic of my bank account growing too much in the next year because of these tariffs.
But we don't know exactly what that means. Last month, President Trump said the 25% tariffs on Mexico-Canada imports would go into effect April 2nd, but that hasn't been confirmed. He could also impose tariffs on the European Union, South Korea, Brazil, and India. Those are on top of tariffs already in effect, the 20% on Chinese imports and 25% on Canadian steel and aluminum. Oakland University Associate Professor Mike Greiner says, this altogether can create the perfect conditions for a recession, as retaliatory tariffs are expected to be imposed on American goods going into other countries. When will we start seeing grocery store prices go up?
You're right. We'll start to see them go up very quickly because you have to remember, especially with agricultural goods, one of the biggest that I can think of certainly will be energy. I think that there's an expectation that prices on that will go up substantially. Canada is actually the largest source of imported oil to the United States.
Professor Greiner did say U.S. companies that base the product solely targeted by these tariffs, like U.S. steel companies, could benefit, but that means every other U.S. company using that steel and that product will hurt because that higher demand will drive up higher prices. Now, the 25% tariffs on auto imports is also expected to go into effect at midnight tonight. We're now live from the Ambassador Bridge. I'm Brittany Tulis for 7 News Detroit this morning. Kira and Keenan?
Yeah, a lot of people have their mind set on the story, how tariffs can impact our wallets. Thank you for that live report.
You got to, when you look at this, man, you got to know what's going on in this world, bro. You got to know what's going on, bro. I know a lot of people just don't watch the news. I feel sorry for you. I really do, bro. I really do. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you is on IG or whatever. I'm on YouTube.
So at 7:30 this morning, officers.
Let's go.
I went to buy.
So now this is a segment of the show where I start giving you Baltimore news because it's in the morning. So you got to get the news before you go. I got about 20 more minutes and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So let's go.
7:30 this morning, officers assigned to our Dundalk precinct responded to the 2500 block of Gray Manor Terrace. This was in reference to a prior firearms discharge. When officers arrived on the scene and began to conduct that investigation, someone from a nearby residence began to fire upon them. The officers returned fire and called for a barricade. At that point, we had assistance from a number of state, local, and federal departments and agencies respond to this situation. They included Hartford County, Baltimore City, the ATF, and FBI. We would like to extend our appreciation for their assistance in bringing this matter to a close. A short time ago, our officers located the person inside the residence who had initially fired upon our officers this morning. Deceased, suffering from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. This does remain part of an open investigation, and we will be providing more details as they become available. I'll take a few questions if you have them. Adult male. Yes. Pardon me? He was inside the residence. Whether he was the homeowner is still under investigation at this point. That remains part of our investigation, determining what events may have led up to this incident prior to our officers responding to the call. As I mentioned, this was a prior firearms discharge that our officers were initially responding to. So they need to determine what led up to that. Was there anyone else in the house? There was one person who did come out of the house, a woman, an adult female. We're trying to determine that at this point.
Are there any other lockdowns in place at the moment? All the schools are lifted, everything like that? Or is this area safe, secure?
Yes, so the shelter in place has been lifted. As you know, earlier today, residents who lived along the 2500 block of Gray Manor Terrace were asked to shelter in place for their own safety. We also had several schools in the area on lockout. That has all been lifted at this point.
You know, there was a series of gunshots.
Barricade.
You know, were there multiple instances where gunshots went off? Was it one time? What was the situation when it comes to who was shooting and when?
The only exchange of gunfire that occurred was this morning.
The neighboring home that was hit, is that severely damaged? Was it just kind of razed? You know anything about that?
I don't have the details regarding the amount of damage that was done, but I can certainly follow up with you. And again, we will be providing more information and identifying the person, the deceased, as soon as we get it confirmed that next of kin has been notified.
Dang, y'all see what I'm saying, boy? Y'all think y'all go hard? Man, you play with them county boundaries. Listen, anything
We're following the push
in Baltimore that says county. Listen to me, y'all. Anything when you in Baltimore, you in Maryland. If it say county on the back of it, it's no joke. It's no joke. A city police probably a lot of city police black, they probably think twice for you. They probably think twice. They'll hurt you too. But when you go to places like the county, any county, St. Mary's, Calvert, PG, Montgomery, Baltimore, them boys is shooting to kill. I promise you that. They don't do all that bullshit in these counties playing and joking. I'm just letting you know up front. You barricading with them, they finishing the job. I'm telling you out here, Baltimore, Maryland, nigga, they finishing the job. They not playing with you with a gun. They not letting you hit them. They not letting you hit them, bro. They coming in there and them sharpshooters is going to take the head off of the horse. I promise you, them sharpshooters will take the head off a horse. Know what I mean? The head off the horse. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, point blank, period. That's just what it is, man. Make sure y'all hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Please hit the notification button, hit the like button, drop a comment. But again, like I said, man, you can't go up against the police department and just be like that, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like you like a lot of dudes be thinking, I don't know, I ain't seen one person that go up against the police department with a firearm and won. It's impossible. Like that's you asking for it. You know what I mean? So it's just terrible. Oh, it's just boy.
General Pam Bondi is seeking the death penalty for Luigi Mangione.
I do that.
Baltimore County native
I do that.
is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
I knew that.
Good
I
evening
knew that.
from Guy Jackson.
Anti-vaccine
Let me
striker.
tell y'all this too. If you go out here in the world today, right, and you go out in the world today, and you go to some of these states, America got 50 states, right? You know what I'm saying? Let me cook. It got 50 states, right? And this is something that I recognize. I'm from Maryland, so years ago in the 80s, early 90s, the death penalty was abolished out here. So, you know, I ain't really don't know too many criminals that, you know, that's going on death row outside of when, you know, Boosie case was going on and I was locked up. I was incarcerated when Boosie was, you know, charged with those murders and I heard he was facing the death penalty. I'm like, damn, they still do that down in Louisiana because it's unheard of up here. You get what I'm saying? So Luigi Mangione is the guy from Maryland that went to Gilman, went to a real good school, family. His mother had some type of health issues, and he thought that he could take matters into his own hands. He goes up New York and he kills the health care provider CEO. He knock him off. He gets caught for it in Allenwood, Pennsylvania. They extradite him back to New York. Now is what I'm telling y'all. It is states in the United States of America, bro, that still carry the death penalty. And New York is one of them. Right up the streets, 3 hours from here. New York is one of them. That boy, I knew that all the supporters and people raising $500,000 for his lawyer fees and all that. Oh, that's cute. But boy, you will never walk out of no New York prison or no federal prison ever again in your life. You got, boy, you got $1 million on your book. You can write a bunch of books. You can even get married. See, when you got guys like Luigi, they get in prison, they get wives, they get fan mail for the rest of their life. They kind of like, him, he didn't do no horrific crime, or the government and the state of New York is looking like a terrorist act. But and when he gets in prison and around the inmate population, he doesn't look like a, what I mean, he's one of those guys that dudes probably gonna be cool with, because he ain't got no like a sex offender charge, messing with no kids. He went to prison for killing somebody that he believed was destroying the lives of the American people, and his mother was one of them. From my understanding, his mother is one of them. So now he's going to trial, and things are heating up. Been to jail a few months now, and it's getting closer to that time where he's being in court. A lot of court appearances this summer. A lot's going on. He gonna be in there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me finish playing this.
With Mangione's case, as the Attorney General says, the calls for the death penalty are part of an effort to stop violent crime.
Fox 45's Jessica Babb is following today's developments. She spoke to a legal expert about what this could mean for Mangione's case. Jessica.
If Luigi Mangione is ultimately convicted, a jury will have to unanimously decide to impose the death penalty. And while some legal experts question if this is the best use of resources, his defense attorney says they plan to fight it.
Healthcare is a human right.
While there have been signs of support on the street,
Free Luigi.
Inside the courtroom, the stakes for Luigi Mangione are getting even higher, with U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi making a major announcement Tuesday, directing federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty in the case. In a statement saying the murder of Brian Thompson, an innocent man and father of two, was a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination. She says they plan on carrying out President Trump's agenda to stop violent crime and make America safe again. It's part of the administration's push to revive the death penalty and lift moratoriums on federal executions.
The death penalty is often put on the table as a potential bargaining chip to get somebody to plead to life in prison. It's hard to say whether or not ultimately it will stick.
Mangione, a 26-year-old Gilman grad, is facing federal and state murder charges, accused of killing Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, back in December, outside of a Manhattan hotel.
We were able to match that gun to the 3 shell casings that we found in Midtown at the scene of the homicide.
Prosecutors say Mangione had a notebook speaking out against the health insurance industry. He was later tracked down in Pennsylvania and arrested. The New York State charges include killing as an act of terrorism. But in a New York City courtroom with Mangione facing a judge.
Have you pleaded this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty. But in response to the death penalty that's now on the table, Mangione's attorney is firing back, saying the Justice Department has moved from dysfunctional to barbaric. She says the decision to execute Luigi is political and goes against the recommendation
It is political. It's going to be political.
And historical precedent. She says they plan to fight the charges.
The death penalty as a whole requires a tremendous amount of resources on both the prosecution and defense side. And so, if you're looking at it from that perspective, certainly I don't think this is the type of case that would warrant the invocation of the death penalty.
And other attorneys like Kurt Nachman agree. Nachman isn't part of Mangione's case.
You think of a death penalty as a particularly egregious act, a heinous act, or someone who's perpetrated multiple acts of violence.
Yeah.
This is
I
hate to say it, but this is more or less just a street crime.
But despite that, the federal charges against Mangione, including murder through the use of a firearm, carry the possibility of the death penalty.
Goddamn right.
A lot of the pomp and circumstance maybe.
Goddamn right to carry the death penalty.
but ultimately none of that really matters when it comes down to it.
Ain't playing. He did that in the heart of the city, and he ain't from up there. Yeah, he might not get the. I don't know.
Is expected back in court later this month. Live in Baltimore, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
Cause they gotta bring you to court where you get offered the death penalty or life sentence. They gotta kind of send people to see if you all right, and you know what I mean. This and that, and this, that.
Big story we're following tonight. It is an urgent warning from Baltimore's.
Here we go.
Big story we're following tonight. It is an urgent warning from Baltimore's FBI about a growing scam that is costing some victims their life savings. The scammers, frequently based in Southeast Asia, slowly gain the trust of their targets. Then they convince them to give them money to buy cryptocurrency. WJZ investigator Mike
asked you that. Did you transfer this money for crypto?
Devastating scam. Mike, you spoke to one woman who lost millions of dollars.
Hit that notification button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Subscribe to the channel.
She's telling her story in order to protect others. She says it all seemed very real, and more than 5,000 other people across the country have fallen for similar scams.
I put in over $3 million into this, and it showed that I was making almost maybe like 80% profit.
That's right. This victim lost more than $3 million. WJZ has disguised her voice, and we're protecting her identity.
I was so humiliated. It was very hard. You trust somebody, and you get betrayed.
I'm never trusting nobody if I can't see it with my money.
She says the female scammer first reached out to her unsolicited through a Korean messaging app. Spent several weeks earning her trust, then slowly asked for money to invest in crypto for her. The victim shared screenshots with WJZ Investigates. She says the investment portfolio looked like the real thing, and she was first directed to the legitimate Coinbase before being taken to other sites.
Once she got a lot more of my trust, more money would be poured in. Unless you know what you're doing, you're not going to be able to tell, especially if you've never done crypto before.
When I spoke to her initially, she told me.
I remember. Let me ride out real quick. I remember years ago. I remember my man. This is funny. My own boy. I'm not gonna say his name. He hit us one day. We all in the car. This is in a hustling days. He like, yo, put up 5,000 a piece to Bitcoin. I said, what? Now, I'm not saying Bitcoin and crypto not real, but I said, what? And I said, who the person to do it? You know what I'm saying? I'm all for flipping my money. But it's like, yo, told me that the insights, but to make a long story short, he ended up losing like 25,000. Like, hell no, bro. I've got to go in the bank, Navy Federal, or a bank, and they got to tell me this is going on because they got the money. I would believe a casino more than I'm gonna believe a goddamn person off the internet. You people are crazy, bro. You are crazy just to be sitting there like you ain't sit down with no lawyer. You didn't sit down with nothing. You didn't Google this company. You didn't do anything. You didn't do your research on the company, and you invested millions. You sweet. You sweet. That lady was sweet. They over in Asia laughing to the bank. Sweet. You sweet. You are sweet when you make idiotic decisions with your money, but you won't, give it to a family member to invest or do something, but you will go and fuck with some people you don't know. You are bananas. You are insane, bro. Money grows on trees for you playing that type of games with your money, bro. Bill Gates, I read in the book, Bill Gates say the reason how he keep in control of his money because he watch every penny. The billions of dollars he got, he say, man, he know what every penny go at, bro. Are you fucking stupid or dumb? You're not smart at all. When you give somebody you don't know all of your money, believe in a bunch of stuff, do you know it's all this shit, artificial intelligence, all these games being played? It's so many games being played in the world. How the fuck do you think that you just mysteriously meet somebody over in China that's doing the right thing and getting people all this goddamn money and you never saw them a day in your life, never took a trip over there to sit down and see if you got 3 million, you can get a private jet in China fast. Wherever they at in Asia, $3 million, get a private jet, boy, before I invest $1. I like you. Let me come over there and meet you. Let me see what's going on. And then you don't just go tell them when you coming. You just pop up. Hey, would have been this at, find out where everything at. Boy, I'll be there in a couple weeks. I'm telling the boy I'm coming on a Thursday and I'll be there Monday. I'm already at the joint. I'm already there before they think I'm there. They'll think I just got there Thursday because that's how important handling my business is. See, people be signified and nosy about the wrong shit, but never signifying and nosy about the right shit that's involving them. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was in an argument with their girlfriend out in front of that lady house, that lady would have called the police, signifying. You get what I'm saying? But you invested millions of dollars and you don't understand what's going on. You know, that's why you got two ears and one mouth. You know what I mean? You gotta listen. You gotta listen. You gotta look, and you gotta have a brain. You gotta have a brain. Once you listen and you look, you got a brain. You don't open your mouth up. It's called research. That's it. It's called research. The problem is the good thing that y'all got going on is you can just say Google and talk about it. Me, I would have if I was for one, I ain't never invested 3 million in nobody I don't believe in and know the actual facts and see the turnaround with my own 2 eyes and see people that successfully and that could show that. That's how you gotta be. It's 2025. It's not 88, 98, or 08. You know what I mean? Scam is at an all-time high. It's a big business. You know what I mean? It took them boys years and years and years to get to this level, the dark web, and to bust these $1 million moves, bro. And then the Netflix section just out about the dude that had the car rental car and then went into crypto. It's so much shit that be in your face to tell you, hey, watch out. You know what I mean? And you still go do it. You're a fool. That's like somebody tell you, boy, that building on fire, and you go in there and take a nap and wonder why you got burned up. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense. You got to make it make sense. But let's finish hearing this before I get out of here.
Baltimore's FBI field office learned this woman was being scammed through Operation Level Up, the Bureau's program to crack down on this fraud.
They find the victims. They fatten the pig by increasing the amount of money that the victim is depositing into this fraudulent account that they believe they're investing in. And then the slaughter happens when the scammers disappear and the victim loses all of their money.
Her colleague, Special Agent Jeremy Capello, says targets are often re-victimized.
They will have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to this scam, and then they're recontacted by the same scammers pretending to be recovery companies where they can go and they'll tell the victim, we can recover your cryptocurrency if you pay us a fee. Once that money leaves their legitimate cryptocurrency wallet, it goes to the bad guys and it's gone.
In one Maryland case, a man in his 80s was scammed over Facebook and ended up taking his own life after losing his life savings.
They crushed him and took the life out of him.
The victim, who lost more than $3 million, says she was lucky to have a strong family support system.
It's money, and as hard as it is, and how humiliating as it is, and how hurtful as it is, it's not much your life.
And the FBI says some of these scammers are victims themselves of human trafficking, working out of large warehouses in Southeast Asia, forced to make these contacts. The FBI warns not to respond to unsolicited messages and not to invest with people or organizations that you do not know.
But listen, man, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, man. I'll be back this afternoon. I got to do a double hitter, but also I'll be back at 6:30 a.m. for the Wake Up Journal RDP. We in the building. No fuck shit, no fake shit, no foolishness. Anything you say can and will be used against you on internet. Hit that subscribe button. Please subscribe to my channel. Become a part of the community. And if you want to donate to the channel, man. This podcast, this vlog, this content is created out of Baltimore City. If you don't know what Baltimore at, boy, that's a city inside of Maryland, man. Again, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. No fuck shit, no fake shit, no foolishness. Anything you say can and will be used against you on the internet. You got that right, Kenny. They got them. They get a lot of you motherfuckers that don't do research, don't like reading and do, that's just how it goes, man. I'm out.